are with Illuminerdy, and we are here to talk about episode 5 of Lower Decks, Cupid's Errand Arrow. I'm obsessed. Spoilers! Red alert! Spoilers! Episode 5 was great. I thought it was so perfect because it was a classic Star Trek episode, storyline, but not. So many references to classic, to all Trek in the past, which gets me super, I get super geeked out with. Mariner does not believe that Boimler can have a girlfriend. No one would want to date you, which is kind of sad. I think he's adorable. She's got to be a shapeshifter, a Romulan spy. My personal favorite, she calls her a salt sucker, or salt succubus, excuse me, which if you guys remember from the OGTOS, man trap. And when they finally get to meet the girl, it's she's beautiful. Her name is Barb, and Mariner's like, well, what is happening? You can see her start to wig out. Her hair gets all distressed. She's trying to figure out what Barb is, because there's no way Barb can be a normal human girl who has any attraction to Brad. So we meet Barb's ex, Jed, and he's described as a Kirk Sunday with Trip Tucker sprinkles, Enterprise references. And that's the beauty of the show. It's only a 30-minute episode, but it's jammed packed with all kinds of Star Trek references, which to me personally is the best. I am literally on the edge of my chair waiting to see if I can catch the next reference. So for that, we thank you, Lower Decks. Mariner is definitely making herself look cuckoo bananas because she is honestly just getting in the way of Barb and Brad's relationship. Either Brad or Mariner is going to ruin this relationship at any time because Brad is getting so weird, so just, if you ever had that boyfriend who's jealous of, your friends or your exes, and he's just constantly around you and embarrassing the crap out of you, just trying to show affection. Yeah, so this is what Brad's doing. Me, as an audience, a viewer, I'm just, oh, stop, you're gonna drive her crazy. Mariner pantses this girl, straight up pantses her to see if she's gonna tail, and I'm like, oh, no, she didn't. No, she didn't. Even my camera wigged out with that, okay? That was too much. She pantses her to see if she's a reptoid with a tail. A reptoid? Reptoid with a tail. And of course, she's not, but she does find a husk from a parasite, and she's like, oh, I got you now, it's on. And she notices that Brad and Barb take off in a shuttlecraft, and she straight up goes after them in just deep space, boom. And the worst thing happens. She literally enters their shuttle. Oh god, this is so embarrassing. And sees her best friend naked. Oh my god, I'm dying. It's from the I think the original trailers when the show was announced. And which I've personally been waiting to see this scene for so long. We get to see Brad naked. And totally freaks Mariner out. She's like, oh god, no! And if you've ever, had a best friend of the opposite sex, you don't ever want to see them naked. You just don't. So she's freaking out, and then the blast from this moon explosion kind of knocks him out. So he's down, and then Mariner is faced with Barb, his girlfriend, his normal girlfriend, and she's like, what's wrong with you? And they have a fight, and it's really, really badass because they're both Barb's thinking that Mariner is either this crazy stalker or maybe Mariner is a parasite. And so they battle it out together and then realize, dun dun dun, that she's actually not a parasite, but there is a parasite, and it happens to be on Brad. Oh my G. And the parasite was one of those classic parasites that, embeds himself in the back of your head and then makes people fall in love with you because of pheromones and stuff. So very common. So long story short, while Brad's passed out, Mariner and Barb become besties, and basically Mariner steals Barb from Brad, and at the end of the episode, Barb basically breaks it off with Brad because he no longer has a parasite, and she assures him that that's not the reason why. She's going to study her, dedicate all of her time to research, but low key, she just wants to be with this parasite. So that was story 1. Story 2 is about Tendi and Rutherford on the Vancouver, this glorious magical ship with all this new technology. And they've got a new piece of technology which is called the T-88, and it's super fancy. The whole episode, they're kind of competing with each other to see who can win the T-88, because whoever does the best with it gets to take one home, or at least that's what they thought. At the end of the episode, they both get the T-88, but in order to keep them, they have to be transferred to the Vancouver, and they're like, whoa, the Cerrito means so much to us. it's a broken down old clunk of junk, but it needs us. And honestly, I felt like that was a very Trek moment. I felt like the fact that they wanted to stay with their ship because they felt needed and they served a purpose, to me was just very classic Trek. And I appreciate that. So thank you guys. We also find out that another reason that Mariner is super hooked on the fact that Barb cannot be real is because we have a flashback with her that actually takes us to Deep Space Nine. Not on it, but around it. We get to see her on the Keto, which is an old classic Olympic ship that's actually docked at Deep Space Nine. First off, we get to see her rocking a feature film uniform, which is really cool, and her hair is all beautiful and full. Then we get to hear the story about how one of her best friends was dating this really beautiful man, and he turned out to be a shapeshifter who ate her friend. And yeah, so when she sees couples that are just too good to be true, I mean, rightfully so. She's had a lot of crazy stuff in her past, so she's a little skeptical, So those are stories A, B, and now story C, which would be honestly like the main plot story for like a classic TOS episode. It's a very diplomatic issue. If they destroy this moon, it will destroy that planet, and then they've got it it's kind of like the smorgasbord of what do we do? I honestly feel like Captain Freeman does a great job on figuring out what to do, which moon to blow up. One of the planets has this population, and this guy is talking about, you can't destroy our population, and he actually lets out the population of 2, and she's like, wait, what? There's only 2 of you? Turns out he's just extremely wealthy. They have a summer home on this island, and they don't want it, to be destroyed. And she was like, oh my god, you're crazy. Boop. So she destroys it. I digress, and I feel like I've told you way too much about this episode, so I want you to go watch it on your own and tell us what you think about Star Trek Lower Decks in the comments below. And what was your favorite line? I feel like there are so many great quotes from all of these shows, throughout each episode. So let us know down below what was your favorite quote from episode 5 of Lower Decks. Alright guys, I'm Crystal Star with Illuminerdy, and we will see you guys next week with episode 6. Bye! Live long and prosper, my dudes!